Hi again everyone. We have discussed a lot about the previous part of speech. They are noun, pronoun and verbs, right? And don't forget that each of them, they do have different functions. What about the noun? Again, now we use them in order to name, right? To name people, places, things, ideas or events, right? What about the pronoun? We normally use the pronoun to replace the noun. What about the verb? We use the verb to describe or express some kind of action. Good. So here today I'm talking about the adjective. I can say that the adjective has the different function. Okay, the adjective is used in order to describe pronouns or nouns. Okay, mainly we can say that it is used to talk about the noun in terms of their quality, size, number of those nouns or pronouns that we are talking about. For example, leman-flavored, fluffy, silent, indigo, miniature, cylindrical, old-fashioned, exhausted, or energetic. You can see that the adjective can be only one word or it can be two words with hyphen or without hyphen. Okay, and it can be used like ed at the end. We have so many ways, many forms of the adjective. And here is some example in the sentence. Okay, the carvings are intricate. I have 2 hamsters. And the last one, wow, that donut is huge. Okay, so you can see that we have so many ways in order to use the adjective. It can be after verb to be or it can be before the noun. Okay, let's see in details. I will start with the types of the adjectives. We have several types of the adjective that you should know. The first one is the descriptive adjectives. I can say that this is the most common types of the adjectives because the adjectives that you know, most of them all around you, this is used to talk about the quality, okay, or the kind of the noun or pronoun that they are referring to. They can be so-called descriptive adjectives. For example, Erica is witty. She is tired, or even Adrian's reflexes are amazing. Okay, so the word witty, tired, amazing, or even some of the adjective in the picture with those pigeons, like the word serious, unamusing, unfunny, dull, witless, humorous, grave, doleful, boring, brainless. That is the opposite meaning of the word witty, right? Because the word witty is the positive way, you can say. But all of them, they are used in order to talk about the quality of the noun. Okay, like the word Erica. Erica is the noun, and also Adrian's reflexes, they are noun. And it can be used to talk about the quality of the pronoun, like the sentence, she is tired. Okay, so you can say that those words that you know, like the word small, big, like large, okay, enormous, and a lot more, they are all descriptive adjectives. Okay. Next is the proper adjectives. Have you heard about the word proper before? Yes? No? Well, actually, we have discussed about the word proper before when we are talking about the noun. That is the proper noun. Okay, so if it is for the proper noun, we are talking about something which is very specific, right? Right, like the name, your name, the name of the river, the name of the mountain, the name of the month, the name of the country, for example. But we cannot take all of those to the proper adjectives. Okay, only some of them, particularly the name of the country and also some kind of beliefs. Okay, so again, proper adjectives, we take proper nouns and shift to change their function to fill the role of an adjective. Interesting. Okay, and they often end in an, ian, and ish. So they are the suffixes that can change those proper noun into the proper adjectives. The first one, the first sentence. The Chinese dumplings are the base item on the menu. So the word Chinese, this is the proper adjectives that is taken from the word China, the name of the country. Okay. What about German? The word German here is from the word Germany. Okay, and we just remove that Y and then it falls into an rules. German chocolate cake is very rich in flavor and texture. Yeah. Number 3, the third one. Christian music makes you feel so good. So Christian here is from the word Christianity. We just remove the suffix ity and then we can get the word Christian. The Japanese paper cranes are meant for good luck. Do you know the paper cranes? So you can see on the right hand side that bird, okay? The name of the bird is crane and is made of paper. Okay, so we just call them paper cranes. So the word Japanese is from the word Japan, okay, and we just add ese. All right, so you can see that it's not only am, ian, and ish, but we can use ese as the suffix in order to make the proper noun into the proper adjectives as well. Okay. And the next one, the African drum sounded loud in the concert hall. African from the word Africa. Okay, and the last one, the Russian opera by Stravinsky is very beautiful. Okay, so the word Russian is from the word Russia. So the proper adjectives is like when you are taking some of the proper noun to talk about something. Okay, we can use these, I mean Chinese, German, Japanese, these proper adjectives to talk about the nouns. Okay, right after them. Okay, Chinese dumpling, we use the word Chinese to talk about that kind of dumplings. It's not Thai dumpling, but it's Chinese dumplings, for example. Okay. The next one is the possessive adjectives. Once again, possessive. Well, we've discussed about the word possessive before. It was possessive. What? Possessive personal pronoun. That's right. Okay, so for the possessive adjectives here, it's quite similar. If you see like the words, each word is quite similar to possessive personal pronoun. But the thing is, if we are using them as the possessive adjectives, we need the noun. Okay, we need the noun right after them. Okay, because we are not replacing anything, but we use the possessive adjective to explain, to describe those nouns. Okay, so the possessive adjectives are used in order to show the possession. What we have the word mine, not mine, right? Mine, your, our, their, his, her, and its. Okay, and they are always followed by a noun. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. For example, the first one, I think you forgot your purse. And you can't say, I think you forgot your, like that. Okay. Joey left his bat at home. And the word bat here is not an animal. I don't think he forgot his animal, but that should be this bat. Okay, like a bat for a baseball game, just like that. Joey left his bat at home. Next one, Trisha loves her dog. And the word her is used to modify the word dog. And the last one, the dog wagged its tail. Okay, wagged like this. Okay, and all of them are used in order to describe or to show the position of these nouns. Okay, and they are possessive adjectives. So don't get confused with those with possessive personal pronoun or possessive pronouns. Okay, we need to use them differently, even they have exactly the same meaning. All right, next one is the demonstrative adjectives. Whoa, again, we've discussed about demonstrative before, right? It is the demonstrative pronoun for that time. Okay, but here I can say that for the meaning, they are exactly the same. The way that we are using something which is near, something which is far, something in singular, something that they are plural. But for the demonstrative adjective, once again, if it is the adjective, what do we need right after it, everyone? We need the noun. Perfect. Okay, so we need the demonstrative adjective in order to point out pronouns and nouns, and always come before the words that they are referring to, and that words, that is the noun. Okay, these, that, these, and those, they must be followed by nouns. I won't talk much about like how to use each word, because I'm sure that all of you understand how to use them, right? I used to buy this kind of shirts. You see that the word this must be followed by the noun, and the noun here in this sentence is the word kind. When the old man tripped over that wire, he dropped a whole bag of groceries. Okay, so the word that is used in order to explain, in order to point out that wire is a little bit far from this old man. Here is a demonstrative adjective. Again, don't get confused with demonstrative pronoun. If you are using this, that, this, those without noun, that should be demonstrative pronoun. But here, demonstrative adjectives, you need the noun. Good. The next one is numerical adjectives. We've never talked about the word numerical in any other kind of part of speech before, okay? But when you see the word numerical, it's something about number. Yes, you're right, it's something about number. So we use the numerical adjectives to denote the number of nouns or the order in which they stand. So there must be something different, okay? The first one is about the number, and another one is about the order, okay? And they are commonly called adjectives of number or quantitative adjectives. Okay, so we have like several names of the numerical adjectives. Some of you may address them as numerical adjectives, or it can be number, okay, adjective of numbers, or quantitative, because it's something about the quantity, not quality, right? It's about the quantity. And this kind of adjective answers the question how many or how much, and then you can use this kind of adjective to answer this kind of question. But for the numerical adjectives, it can be divided into two ways. The first one is called definite numerical adjectives, and another one, I can say that it is indefinite numerical adjectives. How are they different? Okay, the first one, definite numerical adjectives, you can see the keyword, that is to give us an exact number. And for those exact number, it can be in another two ways. Wow, the first one is called in cardinal form, that is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until like 100, 1,000, million, stuff like that. Okay, and another one, it's in ordinal form, like first, second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th, 12th, 20th. That is called order or ordinal form. Okay, but all of them, we know the exact number anyway, even its number or even its order. For example, there are 3 books on the table, and the word 3 is used in order to talk about the quantity of the books that you have on the table. You can say 3 books, okay? And there is only one solution for this problem. And now we know that we have only one, not 2, 3, or 5, or even 10, but only one, the exact number that is mentioned here. The 5th lady in a row is staring at me, okay? 5th lady, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, first, second, third, fourth, and 5th, okay? 5th lady, we are talking about that 5th lady. And the last one, today is their 7th marriage anniversary, and we are talking about the exact number because they can remember, right, how many years that they have been together, 7th marriage anniversary. The next one is indefinite numerical adjectives. So it's different from the first one. For the first one, we are talking about the exact number. So here we do not express an exact number by using these numerical adjectives. Like certain flowers are beautiful. We are not talking about 2 flowers, 10 flowers, right? But certain. Are there any fruits in the refrigerator or in the fridge? Okay, any fruits, it can be anything. Several people were waiting for train. So we are not counting like, well, 17 people. No, just several people were waiting for train. And there are few workers in the office. We are not mentioning like 4 workers or 8 workers, but just few, 2 or 3, who knows, right? Most of the students participated in outdoor games. Most of the students, probably we have like 50 students, and most of students, it can be 40, it can be 45, but it's just approximately most of the students. And the last one, I have bought some mangoes. You don't want to count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I bought 6 mangoes. If you don't want to mention the number, you just say some mangoes. You can feel that the word any, several, few, some. We have seen this kind of words before, but it was called indefinite pronoun, right? Indefinite pronoun. If we are using them without the noun, we will call them indefinite pronoun. We call them like that. But if you use them with the noun, we'd better call them indefinite numerical adjectives. Okay, but for the meaning, they are the same. Okay. Next one is interrogative adjectives. Why the word interrogative exists in pronoun, but why it's here again? Okay, don't worry. Interrogative adjective, if you understand the concept of interrogative pronoun, for the interrogative adjective will be very simple, because for interrogative pronoun we use them in order to ask the question, right? Because of the word interrogative. And here for the word interrogative adjectives, the function is the same, exactly the same. That is to ask the question, but we need the noun right after these interrogative adjectives. So that's the point. Number 1, what movie are you watching? Okay, what movie are you watching? What and then the word movie as the noun. Next one, which plants should be placed over here? Which and then the word plants. And plants is the noun again. Which book on gardening do you recommend? Which book, right? Which and then book. And the last one, whose house is that? Whose house is that? The word house is the noun after the interrogative word. So you can see that what, which, and whose, they need the noun. I mean, for this case, once that they are followed by the noun, they must be called interrogative adjective, not the interrogative pronoun anymore. So I give you 2 more samples. Okay, the first one, what is your favorite food? What is your favorite food? This is the first sentence. And another one, what food do you like? What food do you like? So the first one, what is, so the word what in that sentence, that is interrogative pronoun because we don't have the noun right after the word what, right? But for another question, what food? What kind of food? So this is interrogative adjective because the word what must be used with the adjective. So it's just a position, right? It's just something that follows. If there is nothing followed, that interrogative, it is interrogative pronoun. But if it is interrogative adjectives, there must be the noun that you can see. Okay. The next one is relative adjectives. We've discussed before again with the relative pronoun. Okay, so if you understand about the relative pronoun that is used to introduce the clause, so it means that for the relative adjective, we use them to introduce the clause. Exactly the same. But again, if it is the relative pronoun, we just use them to introduce the clause without any noun right after those relative pronouns. For example, that is the boy who is living next to me. Okay, or he is an interviewer who interviewed me this morning. In that case, right? But for the relative adjectives, here is used to modify nouns and introduce the subordinate clause or the relative clause. For example, what, whatever, which, whichever, and they must be followed by a noun. Mr. Mark will choose what musical the drama club stages this spring. In this sentence, where is the noun after the word what? That is the word musical, right? What musical? And then the drama club stages this spring. That is another clause. We use the word what musical here in order to introduce the whole clause. The whole clause. So it is just Mr. Mark will choose what? And then they are all like noun clause. What musical the drama club stages this spring? Okay, this is the relative adjective that is used to introduce the noun clause. And then I'm sure you'll look festive in whichever Christmas sweater you decide to wear. So the noun after the whichever is Christmas sweater. Okay, and this is the introduction of the subordinate clause you decide to wear. Okay, so it just looks like this when you are using the relative adjectives. Next one is an article. You may wonder, oh, article is also the adjective? Yes, articles are a type of adjective because they are always used with a noun. And there are only 3 articles in English. They are a, and, the. But do you know how to use them correctly? Okay, let's see. For the articles, we can differentiate them into 2 ways. The first one is called definite article, that is the word the. And for the indefinite article, they are a or a and an. Okay? For the definite article or the, it always precedes a noun or before a noun and refers to a specific person or thing. Okay? And this person or thing may have been mentioned earlier. Okay? We may have talked about that before, and then we just talk about that now once again. Okay? Or you can see here, or there may be only one to talk about. That is another way. The first one, it can be mentioned earlier, or probably that kind of noun. There is only one, like the word the sun. Another one is indefinite article. As you know, we have a, and. We are using them in order to refer to anyone, any person, anything. Okay? Words that begin with consonant sound. Can you still remember the word consonant? We have consonants and vowels, right? If it begins with the consonant sounds, we are talking about the sound, not the letter. Okay, not the letter like ABC like that, but we are talking about the sound. If it start with the consonant sounds, we will use a or a, right? But if that word start with the vowel sounds, we normally use an in order to make the sound or the pronunciation easier. Okay? For example, we have the word apple. Apple start with vowel sound. If we only have a or a, and that would be a apple, apple. So we'd better say an apple, right? So it sounds smooth, right? It's easier to pronounce. Okay. And here is some example for you. The first one, give me the book on the table. Because we know that there is only one table and there is only one book on that table. So we just use definite articles, the. Or you can say a book, a hospital, a lake, a 1-inch pipe, a youth. So they are all start with the consonant sound. Okay, the consonant sound. And again, an apple, it's here. An opera, an eagle, an idea, and SOS. So if you see the word SOS, it starts with the consonant letter, the letter S, right? But when we say, we don't say sauce, right? But it's S, that is the vowel sound. So we better say an SOS. And the last one, I bought a sandwich for lunch. It can be any sandwich from anywhere. I shared the sandwich with my friend. So which one? Oh, the sandwich that you bought this morning for lunch. Okay, it's not something else, but it's this one. So I bought a sandwich for lunch. That is indefinite articles. But for the I shared the sandwich with my friend, that is definite article, because you know this is the one that you mentioned earlier. Okay, good. So apart from those types of adjectives, I would like to talk about the degrees of adjectives. Okay, so you can see that the adjective can be in 3 forms, in 3 degrees, or I can say that. Okay, the first one, the first degree, it's called the positive degree, but it doesn't mean about the meaning. It doesn't have to be in the positive meaning. It can be in the negative meaning, but we are just talking about the degree, okay, in the degree positive one. Okay, when you talk about or describe only a single person, place, thing, you should use what is called positive degree, because we are not comparing to anything else. Okay, so she is a beautiful lady. We are just talking about that girl, okay, that woman. So that is, she is a beautiful lady. Or another one, it was a memorable trip. We are talking about only this trip, not comparing to something else or another trip or other trips, right? So we just say a memorable trip. There is no need to put any other suffix at the end, because we are talking about only one thing. So it means that if you are using the adjective in order to modify, to express, to describe some kind of noun, we just start here. This is called the positive degree. But once if you want to compare with other nouns, if you have 2 nouns, for example, and you want to compare between these 2, you're gonna use what is called comparative, okay, to compare 2 persons, 2 places, or 2 things. And in this case, you need ER. You need ER to transform the word into its comparative form, or you can add the word more. But how are they different? So for the short one, I mean only 1 syllable or probably 2 syllables, that should be adding ER at the end. Okay, but if it's pretty long, like a polysyllabic words, then you'd better add the word more before that adjective. And don't forget that we need the word than. Okay, we need the word than. The word than should be added after the adjective in the comparative degree. For example, this swimming pool is bigger than that one. So you are comparing between 2 pools, right? Pool A and then pool B. This one, A, is bigger than another one. So in this case, it is the short word. You just add ER, but this one you need to double G. Okay. Next one, Ashley is more intelligent than Aldrin. So we have 2 persons, Ashley and Aldrin. Okay, and we feel that Ashley is more intelligent than. Intelligent is a long word. polysyllabic words. So we just add the word more. But we can't say more intelligenter, okay? So please, if it's ER, use ER. If we need more, just use more, okay? More intelligent than Aldrin, okay? And the last degree, this is superlative. I'm sure that everyone knows about this. The superlative, you need to use the word the, okay, before the adjective. And in order to transform the positive form into the superlative form, you have to add the suffix est, okay? For the comparative, you add er or probably more, but for the superlative, you add est or most, okay? That is by far the tallest tree I have ever seen in my entire life. So you are talking only about this one. This is the best one. You're not comparing between two, but like among the three that you have seen in your entire life, this is the best one. This is the tallest one. And this is the short word. So you just add est, okay? Or another one, this is the most crucial match of the season, okay? And for this one, we better say most crucial. But anyway, don't forget that if it is the superlative degree, you need to add the before those adjectives, and then those adjectives can be followed by the noun, right? So it means that we have 3 degrees, right? Positive degree, comparative, and superlatives, okay? The next topic is adjectives order. You can see that in one sentence we can use many adjectives together. It's not limited to only one adjective, 2 adjectives, or whatever, but actually you can use as much as you need, but it depends on the appropriateness. Maybe if you use too many words, that will be so difficult to understand, like the meaning of what you want to say, okay? So how can we order the adjectives? We normally start from quantity or number, right? How many or how much do you have? Then quality or opinion, size, age, shape, color, proper adjective, often nationality, other place of origin or material, or purpose of qualifier. We normally order just like this. For example, I love that really big old green car that always parked at the end of the street, okay? So that is about the size, that is about the age, and also about the color. My sister adopted a beautiful big white bulldog, okay? So that is about the quality, that is about the size, and is about the color again, okay? So this is the way that we can use the adjectives order. But there is some kind of exception for the adjectives order. When there are 2 or more adjectives that are from the same group. Think about like size, think about like color, okay? The word and, A-N-D, and, is placed between the 2 or 3 adjectives. For example, the house is green and red. Okay, in this case, the word green and the word red, they belong to the same group of color. So we need to say green and red. The library has old and new books. Okay, we have old books and new books. So we need to use the word and here. We live in the big green, white, and red house at the end of the street. You can see that this house like a multicolors, the green, it's white, and it's red all in one. Okay, so we'd better say green, white, and red. And the last one, my friend lost a red, black, white watch. So it means that only one watch, but there are 3 colors, okay, like dry colors, red, black, and white. If you are using the adjectives that they belong to the same group, don't forget to add the word and to the sentence, okay? Right now, we are at the last topic for the adjective. That is the position of the adjectives. I told you earlier that we can use the adjective to talk about the noun, right? It can be before the noun, or probably it can be after the verb to be. Alright, let's see. Adjectives usually appear after linking verbs. Can you still remember about the linking verbs? It can be verb to be, and something like appear, seem, grow, look, taste, sound. And go before the nouns, they modify or they describe. For example, it was hot and sultry. The man was handsome, smart, and polite. The clouds looked white and fluffy. So for the first three sentences, we are using those adjectives after the linking verb, like was or looked. And the last three, I have she is a nice girl, he is an intelligent boy, and that was a clever idea. We have the word nice, intelligent, and clever, and they can be used to modify those nouns like girl, boy, and idea. So they are before those nouns that they want to modify. So it means that there are only two positions for the adjective. It can be after verb to be, or it can be before the noun. So in this video, we've learned a lot about the adjectives, like the types of the adjective, the form or the degree of the adjective, and also the position of the adjectives. Hope you enjoyed my video, and then see you again next time. Bye.